minutes. Oh, and now there we go.
Well, we're good.
Yep. First starting. Won't be hearing music today because that didn't work either. So this is just it. And hey, everybody, this is welcome to episode number 96 of the Geek Bytes podcast. I'm Ramon Mejia, and every podcast we bring you the roundup of the week's best geek and tech news. We discuss the news, of course, anything else we're interested in. And I forgot to put his part back in, so this is...
I'm in Cardogo, believe it or not.
There you go. We're here, son, on a nice Christmas Day episode. Merry Christmas to all. And
Happy holidays.
May all...
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, everything in between, Lord Satan, all that good stuff, man.
May all have a geeky Christmas. We have a wonderful episode for you today. In Geek News, we're talking about a bunch of great stuff, including...
Uber's latest move in California, Japan, Siri like girlfriend, Power Rangers speculation, and we'll decide which trailer we like more, Alien Covenant or Blade Runner 2049.
Absolutely. We're going to get our show, though, with Geek News. This is where the sound comes in.
Yeah.
Music stuff. There you go. Okay, we're going to begin our show, though, in Geek News with Uber.
Uber announced Wednesday that it stopped its autonomous car pilot program in California after the state DMV revoked registration for 16 test vehicles. Uber said that it will redeploy the modified Volvo XC90s elsewhere, but remains 100% committed to California and will work to develop workable statewide rules. Meanwhile, San Jose Mercury News reporter Marissa Kendall wrote on Twitter that Uber is moving its self-driving cars to Arizona, which will begin testing there in a few weeks. Uber used its autonomous truck Otto to move its autonomous cars. Self-driving cars, self-driving trailers to drive the self-driving cars.
Yeah, this was kind of a fun story. This was, for the last couple of weeks, this has been a story. Uber wanted to start testing their autonomous vehicles in San Francisco, California. California's state DMV says, no, you guys, you forgot to get your permit. Uber says, F you guys, we're going to do it anyways. We're following the law as we see it. The DMV responds with saying, we are pulling your registration for your cars. And Uber says, we're moving to Arizona.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. A lot of times with these kind of things, you would think it would go for the mass, heavy metropolitan areas, of course, big cities, New York, LA, what have you. But I kind of prefer it to test on a smaller city to make sure they get it down right. So moving to Arizona, not exactly a bad move, because, I'd rather have a bunch of accidents happening in a not heavy populated area than, as you know, for us Californians, especially living in LA, highly congested. That 91 freeway is always backed up. The 405 is always backed up.
Well, yeah, it's not like they haven't been testing Uber other places. They've been testing it in Chicago for a while, in parts of Arizona, Nevada for quite a bit of time. And this was just kind of their next step in kind of testing the waters, because a lot of state driving rules follow California's lead a lot of them. So if they can get away with it in California, then they can kind of set a precedent saying that we don't have to file additional paperwork in other states potentially. And Uber does this a lot. They like to test their boundaries, whether it's in the ride-sharing service and disrupting the taxi industry, or in this case, the self-driving car industry, and trying to get away with whatever they can, and then later backpedaling, saying, okay, we'll work with you now that you're upset about it, but we're going to try to get away with what we can. So it totally makes sense to me as far as their perspective of pushing the boundaries without wanting as much regulation as possible. I just think it's a perfect ending in that Uber saying, you're not going to let us play in San Francisco with our Uber cars. We're taking them to Arizona.
Take our ball and go home.
Yeah,
somewhere else.
Yeah, so it's kind of a fun story. But we're going to move on to some great, very interesting holiday toys that I happen to find on the internet. We're going to talk about some fun stuff from Japan. And a quick shout out to Ale Dominguez. Hola. Hey, how's it going? The Azuma Hikari is a holographic character who lives inside the gate box. Now, instead of a simple cylindrical speaker design, like the Amazon Echo, Gatebox has a screen and projector which brings Hikari, her name apparently means light, to life inside a gadget. Now, if you guys have seen this video, this is actually, it looks kind of like a hologram of a Japanese girl.
It's like a little mini holodeck.
Yeah. We'll grab it on the live side so you can kind of see a little bit on the screen. But it is definitely very Japanese, guys. We'll put it that way. Yep, it's a little life hologram where she basically can take messages for you. She can set your schedule. She can tell you what the weather is outside. She can actually eat with you as you eat dinner. A hologram will appear of her having dinner at the same time. She'll remember your schedule. So like when you come home, she'll say, "Hey, I'm happy you're home," or she'll send you text messages saying, "I miss you." Weird. I'm saying interesting things like that for the men in Japan who are apparently girlfriendless. It's a big thing in Japan right now, actually, that their reproduction rate has been dropping steadily. So it's definitely a thing that they want to check out. And this is kind of a geared towards those single dudes who can't get a girlfriend.
Well, beats China's issue of overpopulated with baby girls and having to fix that problem.
That's not so much a thing anymore, man.
Exactly, thankfully. But yeah, it's cool because now it's a matter of, I don't know if America will do it. If they do, cool. If they don't, no big. But
I would.
Yeah. It's no different than having just once again a quasi-digital physical form for the Siri voice.
I honestly I like the idea of interacting with the hologram instead of just a voice from a box. It seems a lot more approachable and it seems a lot more lifelike, and having that kind of interaction instead of just some voice in the box or my phone. I mean, I know for some people the anthropomorphizing of technology is kind of weird and creepy to them. Not to me though. I'm a big fan of tech.
I like it. It's evolving because obviously it started off with just being strictly audio. Then it's no different than how storytelling has evolved. Before it was just human to human conversation, then reading the book, then hearing the audio book. Now having like a movie. Now the same thing with your semi-smart house. Now you have an actual video format. Because honestly, it probably would have just been on a screen on your laptop, on your tablet. But now they're just giving it the holographic digital physical form, if you will.
Okay, so you think this is going to be a thing in the future? Then do you think that this is going to be the next step of evolution for artificial intelligence or home interactive kind of Siri things? Then
yes. But depending on the level you want to go with, because I don't think it's gonna necessarily replace people, as in
Well, no. You think this is the next step for Siri, like those virtual assistants in your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, I would love to have this on my phone, in my house.
Another one, similar versions of it is the Jarvis. But also if you played Halo, I forgot the name of the little hologram girl. That's the big Halo character.
That's kind of what they're pulling this from. That same kind of holographic interface for your AI, which I'm a big fan of. So I'm up for this. I would totally buy this if they had it in the United States. My wife might object though.
Well, until there's a dude one.
Until there's a dude, or it can switch between the genders. She'll have her own personalized one, and I could have my own personal one, and might at some point they might actually get married together, interact, have a relationship. Yeah, okay, that's fan stuff. Yeah, but okay, on to our next fun toy from Japan.
Yeah, the Kissin' Vid. Japan's done it again with its truly odd peripheral for your phone, the Kissinger, a new smartphone add-on that allows anyone to send a smooch live via video chat. It's a larger than protective case. It has an oval silicone lip, and at the bottom, high precision force sensors register a user's lip movements, and miniature linear actuators replicate those movements on the device of the person being kissed.
Yeah, I like to give you all the fun science words, man.
No worries. Seen this thing before. You ever watch that episode of The Big Bang Theory where Raj and Howard had a similar kind of thing, and they were kind of practicing on each other. They were actually kind of giving each other kind of as non-homosexual, yet they're still digitally making out with each other.
Yeah, this is kind of a digital make-out thing. I'm like, this is kind of interesting. And only in Japan would this be acceptable. I've seen other digital versions of this for sex acts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, things that interact with each other's partners' intimate parts, and I'm like, that's another step beyond. Again,
fleshlights
comes from Japan. No, this is almost a digital fleshlight.
Yeah,
where
you just bring it down a little lower.
One thing one partner does happens to the other partner across the globe because they're using a connected device.
Oh yeah.
And so it's very digitally intimate. Like that is very interesting, folks. And hey, somebody has to put the boundaries of digital intimacy, and I'm happy to see that people are doing it. I'm whatever makes you happy, folks.
It's okay, but it hasn't replaced anything.
No,
You could
it's not so lifelike that you can just like
no
skip the person part.
no because that's no different than combining the video chick with the fleshlight and just molding it, converting it, and becoming the love doll. Once the love doll becomes self.
Yeah, these are more like pieces of the love doll that
Yeah,
would
it's
that would be
eventually.
interactive or like replay or like as a stand-in for your girlfriend or boyfriend
Oh
as
yeah,
they leave the country, they can still interact with you.
yeah.
That's even to me that sounds a little bit weird.
Mm,
But I'm okay. Again, what makes you happy, folks, makes you
exactly.
happy. We're going to move on to our next entertainment story, though, which is still kind of creepy to me. It is Lex Luthor. It's going to be Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. He's actually apparently going to show up in the new Justice League movie, according to the press release kit for 2017. He's not going to be the big villain this time, thankfully. But he is scheduled for an appearance in the movie, which makes kind of sense. If you see the deleted scene from the film, you get a glimpse at Steppenwolf, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor is hatching him or sending out messages. So it totally makes sense that he would at least make an appearance as transitionary figure between him and the next villain in like Darkseid.
Yeah, because I think he's still too young. But as in semi in the comic book world and even in the animated series, he eventually becomes president. So if they're gonna
Yeah.
use that storyline of him becoming president, because he's pretty much, of course, been Superman's main villain for the city, but obviously there's bigger, badder villains like
Yeah, no,
Mr.
this has
Darkseid.
been an opportunity of fiction coming to life where a rich, powerful white guy buys his way into Washington practically, and kind of messes up the country. I'm like, wow, this
One art was it art imitates life, imitates art.
yeah, that whole cycle of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
man. So I'm like, well, we just found a supervillain. Where's our superhero?
Still waiting on that.
Yeah, yeah,
All those millionaires, billionaires, and nobody's spending their money towards
yeah. But it's kind
Superman.
of cool to see that he comes back. I like to see these casting things for films coming up. Just kind of fun. I love to see as much as possible for the new Justice League movie.
Now, especially if it's going to imitate life, it's going to take an illegal alien to take out Donald Trump.
Yep, some illegal alien from another planet is gonna come down to Earth, and or maybe just some
One
guy
of
in a
our own illegal aliens,
yeah
according to
in a
American.
Superman suit. You never know.
Yeah,
Okay, moving on to some other
the essay.
sadder entertainment news. Unfortunately,
Oh, Miss Carrie Fisher suffered a cardiac episode while flying from London to L.A. to Los Angeles, according to to emergency officials. A Los Angeles Fire Department source says Fisher is on assisted breathing at a local hospital. So she's having like a little cardiac arrest, heart attack ish kind of thingy. Uh, we need her to hold on. We need her to hold on. Not as the inner geek, but as a person that 2016 has taken so much away from everybody.
yep.
And for Star Wars fans, it would destroy a lot of people. But it's part of life and death. But heaven forbid, hopefully she'll pull through because it sucks. Especially,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
she's currently in ICU, so we hope that she does well. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm like, stop killing our favorite people. That's horrible.
No, and don't get me wrong, it's gonna happen. Heaven forbid, just anytime soon. Because unlike Stan Lee, I don't think she's already filmed her Star Wars scenes yet. Because she's still young and able. And, like right now, hopefully while we're recording this, heaven forbid something happens. But she's a tough broad.
No,
She,
no, like the whole internet's supporting her. Like tweets galore have gone on the internet's
yeah.
Instagram feeds, Facebook posts of just people wishing her well and sending her as many good vibrations as they
Force
possible.
be strong with her, all that good
Very
stuff.
much that kind of stuff. So
Oh yeah.
we definitely hope that she gets better, and that we can see her in 2017. I mean, she just released her latest book, so it would kind of suck if that thing took off,
Oh yeah.
and the new films, and she's not a part of it. I think the internet as a whole would weep if
Oh
that were to be the
yeah.
case. But so we definitely wish her the best. But we are going to move on to our next happier story. The 12 Doctors of Christmas. This one is, if you've ever heard of Elisa Stern, She is the Doctor Puppet creator. There are a series of short claymation films that are on the internet about Doctor Who, and they're really cute, and they kind of get you that period of time between the seasons of Doctor Who as they're released. She has a whole series of them, starting with Matt Smith as the Doctor, moving into Peter Capaldi. And this one kind of puts them all together. They're very cute, very adorable, very much in the Batman and Son line of claymation love and adorableness.
The old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer kind of stop motion
Yeah.
animation.
I mean, she can't afford like official licensed voices, but they're really, and the music is adorable. You can tell this is a fan's devoted love to the series, and I gotta say I love it. It's one of my favorite Doctor Who fan things that happens every year. You can see the style; it's very stylized and it's just fun, so I like it a much.
And the thing with claymation of any kind of stop motion, it takes forever to do. So you could only imagine when they actually started this. They probably started with obviously the first Doctor.
They started a year ago, yeah.
But it's gonna be good. It looks really good. It looks just once again like the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the old Santa Claus is coming to town. But in this case, it's all Doctor Who.
Very good. And it's very appreciative. I love it a lot. Go check it out. We have a link in the show notes for you guys if you haven't seen it yet, of course. On to our next bit of entertainment news. We have...
Ooh, I'm kind of happy about this one. Jason David Frank will reportedly appear in the new Power Rangers movie. If you don't know who he is, it's Tommy, man. Blake Foster on the Instagram page will motivate him to share some news about the film. By the way, Foster is the actor who played Justin Stewart, the Blue Ranger, in the Power Rangers Turbo series. It sounds like Foster has a bit of an insider info about the film because during the argument he said, "You don't even know, bro, but JDF isn't in the..." Well, how long am I going to do this? But JDF is in it, so don't come on my page trying to bash people. Bro.
This is such a fun internet rumor mongering.
Yeah.
And later on, Jason David Frank kind of denies the rumors, but he might just be kind of throwing people a red herring. He might make a cameo or something in the new film. I know they're trying to separate themselves from the older franchise and the older stylization to kind of make it its own thing and to exist on its own without having to rely on so much nostalgia. They're really kind of making it alien-based. But they might do fan service in the form of a couple cameos from older, like beloved characters like Jason Aaron Frank or Tommy.
Yeah, they already did a couple things over there. Like, there's internet rumors about this, internet rumors about that. There's already even conspiracy theories for things. They're saying like Rita Repulsa might be the original.
Oh, that's been confirmed already. Yeah.
And then she turned bad and blah 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 this and stuff like that. So it's like I'm gonna watch it no matter what. I don't care how horrible it is. I've seen the toys. They already teased out what the Megazord looks like in the toys. They even showed the unofficial release of the toy, but they showed Goldar. And Goldar, he looks to me. You ever played Darkstalkers?
Yeah, I remember Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers. He's very like a flame. Kind of like, at least from I'm going by the toy because they haven't showed any videos, so there's no confirmation on what it is.
Yeah, like how I always talk about on these movies that come up, they have to develop and model the toys so far in advance, and when they come out for primary stores to kind of decide whether they want to buy or not, there's so many spoilers.
Yes.
And this is one of those character spoilers. You can see it if you go look online, folks. Look for Goldar Power Rangers toy on the internet. They're going to be pictures, and it's going to spoil you though on what he's going to look like in the film.
That's how it was with like
to me he reminded me of a character out of a Godzilla movie.
Well, the whole concept of them being giant monsters fighting and all that, that was the given. But that was the same way with the Star Wars films when they released the toys. They were trying not to spoil as much as the movie as possible, but
I don't think they spoiled Rogue One where they like everybody dies and.
Well, depending on the characters they were going to have in it.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge surprise, I think, but I know what you're saying. Like they tried to separate it as much, but everything leaks because these toys have to be ready so far in advance, like almost like a year, that this stuff is just bound to leak. Little pictures. There are too many. The internet's. That's just the way the internet works.
Yeah.
On to our next story, though. Naruto. If you're a big fan of the animated series Naruto, you know that series is ending. They're going to be coming out with the Boruto version of it as an animated series, not just a manga. And the producer says it's going to be even better than Naruto. We'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, Hollywood has finally picked up on the fact that this is a popular thing. They have
Takes them
announced
a while sometimes.
that they're going to do a live action movie of Naruto. Now, Lionsgate Film has secured the filming rights for Naruto all the way back in 2017, so they're likely going to be the people that are going to produce this. There's already a live action play version of Naruto, and if you watching on our recorded version of the live feed, we have a picture up of that cast just to kind of give you an idea of what's possible with good casting in this instance. And the pictures of those characters look amazing, spot on. Like, I love each one of their looks. They really capture the characters for the play version of Naruto, and I hope that Hollywood takes note and does as good a casting.
Totally. I can't wait till the other ones come out because Naruto, Sasuke, was it Ghana again?
Gara.
Gara, there you go. And I forgot the girl name.
Yeah, so
I forgot the girl name.
they look good. So is this a series that you're into actually?
Totally, because I wasn't sure, especially when they showed the play version of Naruto. It was like all the school scenes and everything. The main thing about it was the powers, the abilities, how they were going to translate, especially for a live stage, whatever. It was a bunch of lighting effects. It was done really well.
Oh no, but you can tell they poured a lot of love into the play version of the series. And it's just there's kind of a Hollywood curse on video game adaptations and anime adaptations to live action versions. I mean, you think of Dragon Ball Z is probably one of the most famous flops for an animated adaptation or a live action adaptation of of an anime series. And I just would hate to see this go the same route.
Or the biggest thing that's kind of happened is the whitewashing.
Oh.
So hopefully Scarlett Johansson doesn't become,
Yeah, I don't have. I mean, in that particular movie,
Tom Cruise is Naruto.
Yeah, I don't have as big an issue with Scarlett Johansson in that film because the character's an android, but that's a side piece. But I understand what you're saying. Like, Hollywood tends to put people who they know are really famous names, regardless of whether they're appropriate for the role necessarily. But if you look at the pictures for the live action play version of Naruto, they could have done the same thing. But instead, they went with characters who are Asian and who do great wire work and who do great action scenes, but they're still Asian, just like the actual animated characters. And the vibe feels so much better, and that's a key base to building a good movie franchise, in my opinion. Because I mean, this series is like 300 something episodes. I think it's ran for like 10 years, I think, practically. And so this as a viable movie franchise is absolutely possible if they do it right the first time. I mean, they ruined the Dragon Ball Z version of this, and so they're not doing another one of those. And hopefully, if they get this one right, they can do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 films, whatever. There's enough material for it.
Worst case scenario, and it's been proven, fan films. Fan films always make them look awesome. There's been a couple of Naruto fan films and done just right. They even managed to somehow mimic the shadow jutsu that Naruto does with like multiple guys. They got dudes all dressed up alike, but they just made it, edited, just done well. So hey, worst case scenario, fan film, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, there's always a very fine line between trying to imitate the anime, which is entirely impossible because there's just no way special effects can match the level of creativity and stylization that's possible in anime, and still satisfying the fans without imitating it too many and making it original. Very few anime or very few live action films have been able to do. Attack on Titan sucked. Dragon Ball Z sucked. I'm hoping the Death Note and the Naruto ones come out well. Casting wise, the Death Note live action version, I think has a better chance because they have William Dafoe as, of course, Death. So I mean, these things are popular, and Hollywood is just kind of realizing that they can capitalize on this, and hopefully that doesn't suck. But we're gonna leave that particular bit of news, folks. We're gonna move on to our movie trailer showdowns. 4 trailers enter, only 1 leads, folks. We're going to begin with Blade Runner, we have 4 trailers. We have 4 great trailers that came out this week, guys. We have Blade Runner 2049. We also have Alien Covenant. That's one came out just today, folks. We also are going to have Attack on Titan Season 2 and DuckTales Reboot. And that's it. Those are our 4 guys. So, which ones did you like? Which ones didn't you, man?
Just because of nostalgia reasons, purposes, and whatnot, I'm gonna go with DuckTales.
DuckTales. DuckTales is I kind of liked it as well. It kind of touched that special place where that kid is inside of me. It's a catchy tune. This is just basically the theme song, but there's a huge number of great people in there. I mean, you have Danny Pudi from Orbit of Unity, Ben Schwartz, Bobby Monahan, Saturday Night Live. You also have David Tennant. He's going to play Scrooge McDuck. You might recognize him from Doctor Who or from Jessica Jones on Netflix. So there's a big name cast there. And if you're listening to the recorded version of this, you can actually hear the theme song playing in the background. But it's a huge action-packed cast. So that's your pick out of the 4, though.
Yeah. There's still more characters to show, and they were all just singing it in their regular voices, which is, I don't know if that's what their characters are going to sound like. Because I'm not sure about you, but I've actually played
the video game.
Yeah, the video game, the DuckTales remastered, and they actually use the original voice artist to voice it, and they sound just the same, no different than how many years back.
Yeah.
So they could have gone with the original cast if they wanted to, but they decided to go with a new route. And to me, especially that you saw, it's actually 3 different characters that's going to play Huey, Dewey, and Louie. So they're going to have their own individual characterization, sound, maybe a little attitude, if you will. Because and for DuckTales, it has evolved in general. Even like Huey and Dewey, they've gone as far as made them like pre-teens, like aged them up. So I'm not sure if you're going to still get the not stereotypical, but the old-fashioned them wearing the long sleeve sweaters and the little baseball cap. They might make them pre-teens again.
They may. We don't know. But it is a reboot of the original series, and I look forward to it as well. That's not my pick for the week, though. My pick is going to definitely be Alien Covenant. I liked the original movie Prometheus. I know a lot of people didn't feel like there were enough aliens there for their liking. I enjoyed it quite immensely as a science fiction fan. I like Alien Covenant, the sequel, as a horror fan.
Yeah.
There's definitely less sci-fi in there and more scary aliens killing things. And
build the suspense for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely suspenseful. It takes place apparently as colonizers who are going back to the original planet, and they find the android, and some aliens are hanging out there as well. Apparently, you find some nice familiar egg pods, chest bursters. Apparently, although in this case, according to the trailer, it's a back burster. So instead of coming out the front, it's coming out the back of some dude.
It's gonna tear out rip apart that spine and
the
back part of the rib cage.
Or that might be like the second evolution. I think they're probably gonna have more iterations of the alien species before you get to our familiar version of it. But this was definitely the trailer's vibe and feel was very reminiscent of something between Aliens 1 and Aliens 2. And I believe this particular movie kind of tells that story between those two places as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, in Aliens 1, they find a derelict ship, and they find this thing on there, or it comes on the ship. In Aliens 2, or Aliens rather, they go back to this planet where this colony has failed, and it's this planet where the original alien Prometheus was on. And so I think that might be the story of that failing colony, or at least that setup of it. We'll have to wait and see. But it looks really great to me, and some very interesting casting choices for the film. So I'm looking forward to it. I know that they're supposed to have Ripley on there if this is going to be the reboot version of it, and I believe one of the actresses from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, is going to be in the cast. So
it looks good. Once again, it does definitely build suspense for it, because it's one of those moments where they walk around a dark corner, dark cave, and slowly you see the alien egg open up, and of course they see the little squirming, like what's that, and BAM!
Yeah.
Face hugger.
Yeah, so they definitely do the jump out suspense stuff, which is great. But that's going to be for the show. We have our movie trailer showdown winners, DuckTales, and of course, Alien Covenant. So good job for you folks. That's it for the show, though. If you like the podcast, you want to support us, you can do so at
geekbytespodcast.com/support.
There you go, folks. Thanks a lot for listening and watching, and for taking the time out of your day to come, hang out with us and listen to us talk about the geeky things we love. hopefully you guys love too. Remember to always feel to comment on the podcast. Send us emails at feedback@geekbytespodcast.com. But that's it for Geek Bytes Podcast. I am Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Costa.
And remember, folks, go geek out about something.